And a one, two, three, and a four. What are we back in action for? It's beyond a reason, the most unreasonable video game you've ever seen. Welcome back to the Beanami channel, where we are going planetside once again. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the most unreasonable game you've ever heard of. It's beyond all reason, and we are back on Supremismus. Honestly, I kind of hated Supremismus for a while, then I loved Supremismus, then I hated it again, and I'm back to loving it. The simplicity of its 3 lanes will always draw me back in to fighting on it once again. It is just so beautiful because with its simplicity brings infinite complexity. 3 people going on to sea? Hey, you can do that. 3 people going into air? Hey, why not? 4 people do air? Oh, sure. There's so many options, and the limited yet plentiful pathways through the map make it just ever more interesting. Today, we are loading in on the beach sea. Let's see what we can get ourselves into over here today. Hopefully we can get a little bit of a win going and a little bit of domination. Our beach sea strat just hasn't been feeling too hot lately. I saw a comment that I hadn't seen. It was pretty old. Very sad because it was from KingBenjales. This is a guy you might have seen out there in the world playing Beyond All Reason. I know I certainly have. I've played a few games with him. And he left a very reasonable comment about making too many wins initially and that that metal could have been put into herrings. And I thought about it, and he was totally right. As we are now just going to try our best to run up our lab and push out our herrings and our other units to go and fight Mr. Litomber. I wonder what that means to this person. They're an American, and I wonder what Litomber means to them. Hopefully it means some kind of good luck charm, because he's going to need it, as we are already on the sea, baby. This is just the power of what we're doing here. Where, as the beach sea, our bonus is that we get to be on the sea first. That's what it's always been, and what it will always continue to be, or at least should be, where you are just taking advantage of the fact that you are first out. And so that's what I'm basing all of my beach sea builds around, is just the fact that hopefully I can be first and win the lab battle. So as we get our con out, I do feel like having the con out is so vital in situations like this where we're just pushing. So getting the first con out, and I got this happened to me, and I don't know, maybe you can only do it with Armada. Let's see. Hopefully he'll make a con first, Mr. Jackboy. But as you can see, we're so far ahead of Jackboy already. We're already on the water. We already have a con out. These few seconds are making so much difference in what we're able to get to, what we're able to achieve. See, because Litomber, he's just starting to get his commander over, and what we're going to be able to do is quite devastating in the end. So I'm very excited to be able to show that off. Or at least I thought it was quite devastating. We'll see what you guys think, and we'll see how well it works too. So Litomber gets a scout going, very reasonable, gets his heavy trans going. This is super standard stuff. This might just be what Drongo shows in his video. Very reasonable. I totally respect this. This is super smart. You're just getting your cons down, you're getting your mexes down, and you're doing it as quickly as you can with a little bit of eco behind and some protection for your stuff. It's all very smart. It's all very standard. We're just pushing super bare bones, and I am loving the consistent energy that is titles. The fact that wind could just crap out on us at any time really makes... And especially when we're trying to go a herring rush, right? This is something else that I realized. If we're trying to go this herring rush, my energy needs to be super consistent. I need to be paying pond, or I need to be making my own titles. Because if I'm just making wins, if that drops to 2, as we're trying to pump herrings with 6 wins, it's not going to work so well. And if I go with the wind, right, to make it work consistently, you have to put down an energy storage, like Mr. Pink here. But then it's just not a rush anymore. Then we're not getting anywhere first. We're not winning super hard. So I finally figured out the right spot to put this. It's kind of, I think it's right here. Oh no, so it's not quite, but so as you can see, the right spot would be, the perfect spot would probably be right around there, where we could then be right in between both of these coastal torpedo launchers. It's already fantastic, by the way, that we have forced our opponent to put 480 metal into this. The fact that our opponent has already put 480 metal into this, fantastic. Fanboy decimating on the front here, looking fantastic, looking hot with the rocket bots. Love to see this. Not microing them quite perfectly, not healing quite perfectly, but he's doing just fine to get through Mr. Xenon 9000. And that's all that matters, isn't it, folks? It just matters who's laying dead on the ground at the end of the day. So what can you say? What can you say? Good enough is good enough. That's what I like to say. So let's get right back to it. We're just being rude. We're just being rude. I saw this and it just feels so powerful. Look at this. I've got both of the Cove mexes. I've got them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you've got this. I'm in your Cove. I exist there. It's mine. I've even taken this and just to keep scaling a little bit more energy, see, because I'm spending. Look at my bars. I've got just the tiniest little bit of metal, just enough energy, so we need to scale a bit. Unfortunately, I didn't really set my commander to scale quite as much as I would have liked. I was kind of imagining that he would, after building all of this stuff, go back, be attached to the lab. But looking at what we've got here, honestly, I don't mind where I am. Paying Dark Blue would have been really sweet right now, getting my tier 2. Because look at this. Look at this. The strat is working, baby! You can't cover everything with the coastal torpedo launchers. I mean, he could. He could get like a third down, right? He could get a third down. He could get a fourth down. He could get a fifth down. But we're just still going to be able to do nonsense like this. Look at this. He's just having to pump his energy away into this. He's still just barely scraping by on building his Geo at long last. And what can you do? What can you do, opponent? You've kind of been outgunned here. And this is kind of informing my Geo play in the future as well. Oh, poor Dark Red. Prime has been forced into making tier 1 as Xenon really is just falling down over there. Worth just noting. Look at this. This commander has also died. Pond player coming to consume it. Whew! The fact that Risaka took the pedal off the metal is incredible. This is how many thugs? 12 full health thugs partially upgraded. This walking forward would have ended the game here. Prime committed all these units onto Fanboy, so Risaka just walking forward here would have just ended the game. He would have been able to kill Brain Rot. He probably could have even gotten Prime. I think the classic Thug Walk would have just been to go kind of in more of a snaky path up towards Prime like this, but doesn't end up mattering too much. Dark Green trades his commander here for a lot of the units that Red had, honestly, like enough. It looks like it was maybe 5 or 6 units that died in that explosion for Red, but it was enough. And Dark Green now just has to focus down the turrets or walk out of them. Problem with Rocketeers, they're very good against LLTs, but not if you walk into their range. So, oh, look at this, Dark Green, you gamer! Golly, he's here to slurp up all the metal. You gotta save him, save your Resbot. Oh, well microed, well microed, Dark Green. This is what 6 Chevs looks like. Protecting the important units, making sure they're getting their gut dang job done, boy. And I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing a lot. Dark Green just keeping this constant pressure up. Dark Red, I mean, making the all-in play. I respect it. He got a couple. I think he definitely got a refund and a little bit extra on that Resbot. So no shade there at all. I like it. Dark Green. This is honestly something that I have to think about more as well. Scaling BP like this instead of construction turrets. Just making more tier 1 cons is so sweet. I think Green should just pop out 3 more tier 1 cons right now, and who cares if they stay attached to the lab. It's just so good for you. You're producing a lot. You can go send those 3 guys out, make another 3, right? You just go send your 3 new cons out, go make some wins, and that just feels fantastic for you. You can make those 3, send them forward, maybe purchase a tier 2. That's definitely what he should be doing. He should be begging this man for a tier 2, but this guy, we've been in this lobby for at least 1 game now, and we've seen this man before on Pond, where he had absolutely zero impact, and we're seeing this man here, where he's having absolutely zero impact. I think one of my first messages in the chat this game was, don't expect anything from this guy, because he went mex mex and then just stood still with his commander for about 15 seconds before putting raw tier 1 lab down. So I just had that feeling. I just had that feeling in my bones that if I asked him to give me a con and a res, it would just mess things up way too much. Now, Litomber is finally fighting back. Look at this man. He says to himself, I need some plasma artillery. So silly. Really what he wants to do is transition over here. My light green guy, I don't mind this, but really, first of all, kudos to me and to anybody else who remembers to actually put down their radars. Second of all, I should have made sure that this wasn't a secret base. So this first radar should have been over a decent ways so that I could see all the way over on this last beach. And then I also need to be sure with like the next radar that this area isn't there's no lab being built in there either. I think I am missing some crucial information here that could definitely offer Litomber an opportunity to come back. But we've just been sitting here with these frigates, healing them very nicely, and we can just full commit. Even though there's a ton of build power here, we can just full commit now and take these things out. So screw you, Litomber. It's over, buddy pal. So do I also get to take out? Okay, and I do even, oh no, my team is so far forward, we see the BP. So Litomber is now completely off the sea. He's barely got a tier 2 mix up. Boom, baby, boom, 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 boom! That gets 5 booms for me, as we are so many tier 2 mixes ahead of our Geo opponent. We just screwed with this man's brain. This is 7 OS on aggressive beach sea. It's just not, it's not good. It's not good. It's going to fry your brains like no other. I mean, this man he's like, this is like some meth-induced delusion or something that he's experiencing over here right now. All these boats in his cove. I even put down the mean artillery. Unfortunately, he can shoot at me, but I can't shoot back. What a mean thing. And it's not because they have longer range, it's because they're on the high ground, baby. And even though I have the high ground... Oh! Snipe that con now, Mr. Artillery Turret. Snipe that con. Oh! Oh, my faith was almost entirely restored in Tier 1 Artillery Turrets. What can I say? That was quite something. So, obviously, we go slurp up as much of this metal as we can. And now, what do I do with my boats? What am I doing with the boats here? I just got them away just to keep them safe because, yeah, we can't really protect this. I was curious and didn't search deeply enough, but yeah, it doesn't look like there's a jammer that you can put up on the sea. I guess that's on purpose because honestly, it would be way too good if you could just rush. If as Beach Sea, I could rush a con over and build a jammer radar and then build destroyers, I think as a follow-up, I think that would maybe be the meanest and easiest way to win as Beach Sea that could ever exist. And what's so funny about kind of going these all-in builds, right? If you're it's really checking the GOC. If they're going for this island pretty hard, if they invest kind of hard into the island, you just get to keep them off the sea entirely, and then it doesn't matter that they get the island. You'll just be able to contest that, and then all you need is just the radar to make sure that they're not labbing up from that island, which we now kind of have. It's still not really quite enough. I think this corner of the map is still important to be able to see. My frigates go and check out, make sure that he's not rebuilding over there. And, oh, but he's just going to try and rebuild in my face. I just don't think that's going to work very well, bud, as, yeah, now I just get to transition tier 2 for free, which feels great. Dark Red still holding, oh. We all know what that symbol means, don't we, folks? We all know what that symbol means. Poor guy. Oh man, poor guy, poor guy, poor guy. It was a dark blue nuke rush. The Frenchman with his stinky cheese. 13 minutes! The nuke rush lands. Disgusting. Disgusting. Just following it up. Just, Dark Red fighting so hard. As, I mean, our front was already on the dominating streak here, but Dark Red fighting so hard just to get nuked in his face, X'd out by the Frenchman. Golly, disgusting cheese from our boy. And absolutely just winning. Because the next, what's funny, right? The next nuke would have been ready for Tech. So if Tech didn't have his anti-nuke up yet, then he's also screwed. It's really, honestly, nuke rushing when your front is doing well is a real game ender. It's just, it really says, you know, if your Tech wasn't having a perfect game and contributing 0, I'm just going to be able to take out the Geo player and the Tech player, or the Air player and the Tech player, because you just get those 2 nukes off almost immediately. It's good to wait until you've got half of your next nuke charged, just in case, right? Just a little bit more surprise factor, I think. But then getting going with those is just, it's just cruel. It's just cruel. And it's quite a beautiful thing to see, though. It's almost worth watching the build, but it looks like it's just wind scaling into a nuke, so that seems pretty straightforward. I don't think that's really worth rewatching, but I'm very glad, you know, I'm very happy that our strategy kind of worked out this time. I'm very excited to see what you guys have to say about this one. I hope that KingBenjales is back to witness this. I'm much happier with this. I even started scaling a little bit, like you should. So I think I could have very easily just taken this all home to a win, you know, 90 metal a second, scaling up. I would have just built some tier 3 or some tier 2 boats, probably just like a battleship and some cruisers, and just run my face into this, and maybe had a missile cruise ship or 2 and ended this immediately, and I think that would have been quite easy, quite swift. So, very happy with this game. Obviously, against a 7OS opponent, it's going to be a lot easier. I think if we were playing against Dark Red there, it would have been maybe a losing battle. Right? Maybe he puts down the subs right away, and subs are very powerful against this kind of strategy. I don't like going the subs because the subs will get toasted by coastal torpedo launchers in the long run, in my opinion, as well as just building destroyers. So having the frigates, I think, is vital. Maybe a sub or two to contest. But the thing is, the metal is so tight on the sea. It's so ridiculously. The builds are so non-flexible. You just kind of have to go for it, you know. And you have to work with very little metal. You just have to hope you can win. And I think I'm really sticking with the idea that just going very low commitment, screw paying for anything, just getting boats out quickly is what's going to win you games. Getting that con forward as my first thing and getting in his face was so ridiculously OP. And I think, honestly, if I could have... I think this build could have only gotten better because I had 0 reliance on the Geo player this game. So I think if I had a Resbot and a con, been able to scale easier, I think that would have made this game even easier for me. I probably would have been able to have an extra 2 frigates or so at vital moments with that kind of scaling behind me, so I think that would have been quite nice. And the follow-up scaling, honestly, it's kind of crazy how good titles are. You know, this is 30. Look at this. Look at this. This is a fusion worth of metal, and it's making a fusion worth of energy per second, and it's tier 1. So it's pretty sweet. Titles are pretty sweet, and I now understand why that's such a meta thing that you'll see. People just send out a couple cons to just make these huge title flotilla devices, because this is a huge area to scale in. But as we've learned previously, scaling fusions in the sea is no good. Scaling fusions in the sea is no good. Use these tier 2 constructor guys to put down static defense and all that fun stuff. Big mexes, maybe even energy converters. They're slightly cheaper, if I recall correctly. Maybe even some pinpointers, all that fun stuff. Some fun proxy labs, but do not be putting down the dreaded 5400 naval fusion reactor. Wait, This is just the old one, though. Oh, that's why it's so expensive. But is it worth the extra energy? It's 500 more energy for 500 more energy for like 1.5 times. So okay, I guess it's relatively close. It's just so expensive that it makes the transition less smooth, right? The fact that this one only costs 3,300 energy, and then we start to get energy that we can immediately convert, is so much better than getting, look at this, twice the energy investment, 1.5x the metal investment. These are hugely expensive, but I do think they're balanced. They are probably worth building still. How big is the range on this Orthrus? Not big enough. Not big enough. We need bigger. We need bigger, baby. I wonder if it could shoot up the hill here. That'd be funny. Anyway, we've been rambling for long enough about the sea, folks. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're inspired. I hope this is demystifying the sea as always, as we are trying to do when we go play the sea here in this playlist on the Binami channel. Like, subscribe, leave a comment with a replay for me to commentate of your own, and I'll see you there. See you then when we go planetside once again. Bye for now.